What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna be predicting the Money in the Bank card pretty much almost a month in advance. I'm gonna be trying to predict all the matches that are gonna be happening and who's gonna be involved in these matches. And then probably as we get closer to Money in the Bank, I'll probably come back and do a reaction video, seeing how spot on or how far off I may have been. I thought it'd be a fun video just because we are in Money in the Bank season. I know we do have Saturday's Night Main Event coming up, but literally 2 weeks after that, it is Money in the Bank. So why not get my predictions in now and see if I'm going to be how if I'm going to be accurate in my predictions. So we're going to start off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We always either started with the men's or the women's. Now the men started last year, so I believe that the women will start this year, and I believe maybe the men can either main event or co-main event, possibly, but we will see. But we're gonna start off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I'm literally going through who I feel as if make the most sense of being in it based off their standings and how much they've been featured, and could they tell some interesting stories there as well. Okay, so we're gonna start. I feel as if it's going to be maybe 6 women in this, or it can be 8. Because there's been times where there's been 8 women and stuff like that, but I believe we're going to go with the 6 woman format this year. So I'm gonna go with the 6 women that I feel probably will be in the Money in the Bank this year. So the first person I'm gonna go with is Alexa Bliss. I'm gonna go Charlotte, and I'm gonna go Jade Cargill. I wanted to put Nia Jackson here, but I feel as if they're probably gonna either put her in there or maybe it'll be a surprise type of thing. I'm not too sure, but I would love to see Nia Jackson there. But if we're gonna stick with a 6 woman format, I gotta go with those 3 women that I just named. That being Jade Cargill, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte. Over to the Raw side of things, I'm gonna go Julia. If she's, because I feel like she is technically called up at this point. I'm gonna go Roxanne because I feel like Roxanne needs to be in this. I think she's similar in that situation where Tiffany Stratton was a year ago, where she was at the Rumble, she was at the Chamber, she wasn't at WrestleMania, and then she started being featured a little bit more frequent post WrestleMania, and this is kind of where we are now, and maybe be a potential favorite to win this. And plus, we're also teasing a feud between her and Julia as well because of what we've been seeing. And I think the third person to be on the in the sixth participant will be Liv Morgan because they always like to do that wrestler that has won it before and could potentially win it again. So I think Liv Morgan makes the most sense because I feel like she will be back in time for that. Because they said that when she was filming, it was only gonna be a 2 week production and stuff like that. So that means she would have been gone this week. She was gone last week, and I think the week before. So she should be back next week, and potentially she's going to be in a qualifying match either next week or the week after that. So I think some way somehow she will be in Money in the Bank this year because you will have her. I think you could tease some stories between her and Charlotte, her and Alexa, continue that feud, and her and Jade Cargill. Maybe tease some stuff, maybe with Julia and Roxanne, maybe them teaming up with each other, and also tease some stuff with her and Roxanne as well, because we do know what's been happening with the Judgment Day. We know last week in the background, if you weren't paying attention, Finn Balor was talking to Roxanne Perez, so maybe that comes to fruition and we figure out what that may have been. So I feel as if the 6 women that will be participating in this year's Women's Money in the Bank ladder match will be Liv Morgan, Julia, Roxanne, Alexa Bliss, Jade Cargill, and Charlotte Flair. Now, I feel I'm not going to make a prediction who's going to win this match. I'm just giving you guys my predictions on who's going to be in these matches. So, with the women's aside, we're going to move over to the next match for the WWE Women's Championship, which I believe will be Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Maybe even a triple threat with her, Tiffany, and Nia Jax, depending on when they decide to do that. They could do this at Saturday's Night Main Event. We maybe get a walkie finish. Then we can lead into this going into none other than Money in the Bank, and then we can kind of go off to the races of what we decide to do with Tiffany going into SummerSlam. So I believe the women's championship will be in a triple threat. It'll be Tiffany, like I said, defending against Nia Jax and Naomi. I think that makes a lot of sense based off what we've been teasing on SmackDown recently. So on to the next match, which is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's crazy. We're getting three women's matches on this card. I believe we're going to be getting the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We're going to get Lyra versus Becky. And I think Becky will win it here. And then maybe we'll get Bayley making the return afterwards. I think we are going to have Lyra sell the injury from what happened at Backlash. She'll be out for a couple of weeks. She'll be back in time for the lead up to Money in the Bank, and then we could probably redo this rematch where Becky could probably get the win there, and then we could probably lead into that triple threat going into either SummerSlam or even Evolution. Because we know Evolution will be taking place right after Money in the Bank. A couple weeks. It was supposed to be during 4th of July weekend, but it looks like it's getting postponed an extra week or two. So it'll be on the July 16th weekend, which means it's going to be on AEW All In weekend, and stuff like that. So if that is going to be the case, then that's probably when it'll be happening. So you could do this triple threat there, or you could have something happen where it gets pushed back until SummerSlam. We will see if they have the legs to stretch this feud out to SummerSlam. But we will see. On to the next match, which I believe will be for the WWE Championship. I have John Cena defending the WWE Championship against CM Punk. I believe CM Punk will face Cena. It'll be poetic. Those two facing at the same pay-per-view that CM Punk won the championship from Cena back all those years ago in 2011, which was one of my favorite Money in the Bank pay-per-views outside the Raw Money in the Bank, of course. But I love the show. I love the show. That match that Cena and Punk had was really, really good. Maybe we can get something that could be just as good or at least serviceable in the eyes of fans at that show. So I would be okay with them doing that match there. So now that means we're going to go into the men's Money in the Bank, which I believe will be like same way 6-man format. The 6 men that I will have competing in this year's Money in the Bank will start off with the Raw side. Since I started off with the SmackDown side for the women, we'll start off with the Raw side for the men. I believe it will be Penta. I believe we will see because I'm gonna say Louis Kaiser, and I'm gonna say Sheamus for the Raw side. I say Penta, Louis Kaiser, Sheamus. The SmackDown side, Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, and I'm gonna go with Aleister Black. I'm gonna go Aleister Black. I was considering, do I want to replace him? Yeah, I'm gonna take Drew out. I would love to see Drew in this, but I feel like they might continue his feud with Damian potentially, and that might be a match on the card. We will see if that does come to fruition. So since Drew is out, I'm gonna replace him with LA Knight. So that means the Money in the Bank ladder match will be Sheamus, Louis Kaiser, Penta versus, and all three of those guys on the Raw side. The SmackDown side will be Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black, and LA Knights. So that is going to be my Money in the Bank match for the men. And then from there, I guess you could probably add other matches. Trying to stick to that 5 match format. If you add any other match, maybe you do a U.S. title match potentially. You could make a triple threat with Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre and Damian going at it, or you could do a straight up one-on-one with Drew and Jacob, because we know they've been leaning into that feud as well. So we will see if that does come to fruition. But y'all comment down below. Let me know what are your predictions. Also, I will really react to your comments and post for your lineups for the Money in the Bank match this week. That probably will be going up tomorrow, so y'all stay tuned for that. But those are my predictions for the men's and women's and the entire card of Money in the Bank this year for 2025. Let me know if you guys agree with the people that have participating in both of these Money in the Bank matches. If you if you agree, let me know. If you guys don't agree, who would you guys put in these matches instead? Let me know in the comment section down below. Road to 2,000. Ultimate goal is 10,000 by the end of 2025. But with that being said, super kick that like button, helps my channel get pushed across the platform so more people can see what I'm doing over here on YouTube. Superman punch that post notification bell so every time I post a new video, whether it's a reaction video, rant video, live stream, any type of video, you could be in a loop of things when I do drop a video. And spear that subscribe button. Takes 3 seconds out of your day to do those 3 things for me, hosting the progression of my channel as well. But with that being said, hope everybody's a great day, great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.